Hi everyone, so we're back. This is gonna be the first semi-instructional video on focusing today on the nunchucks, nunchucks here. I have a foam one, which I recommend that you practice at home first, and then I have a aluminum one that I got from my friend. I'm actually just borrowing these. He's away and he left them here for me to practice with. So thanks, Leah, if you're watching. So today, let that one out. Today we're gonna focus on a couple different strengths. Okay. So I'm gonna move this quick so you guys can learn. Okay. So just before we start, remember this is just something that I teach my students. So if you know, I'm not a nunchucks master by far. I just this is the first weapon that I started training with when I started my martial art career, and this is a weapon that I like to teach my students first because it's flexible, which means it's tough. It's not easy. It's not like a straight staff or something. But so it's gonna take some time, but it's fun. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold it. Okay, how you hold a nunchucks is you hold it near the end where the chain is, not the far end. The spot closest to the nunchucks. Okay, so I'm going to do some quick exercise that you can do. You're just going to hold it here, feet together, and then I'm going to do like striking up. Make sure your wrists are in a circular motion like this, back and forth. So if I don't have the nunchuck, it's going back and forth, behind, up, okay? So I'm going to do it this way for you guys. So I'm going to go strike like that, just to get used to the nunchuck. So I'm going to do that, and then I usually do 100 times of those, and then I'll go the reverse. So striking that I call it striking up, and this is striking downward. So this is coming down like this. Same thing, you want to move your wrist up and down, behind and forward. So try to get it as circular as possible, okay? So once you get that down, we practice the figure eight, okay? Just by stance. Remember, when you start, you want a nice open stance, okay? That way you can control it more efficient, okay? So I'm going to face this way just for this purpose. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a figure eight. So we're going to make like the number 8 back and forth, okay? But first I start wide, okay, for beginners. Okay, but then I start getting closer when you get better. Keeping your arms straight, and you're just gonna strike down, using only your wrist. Of course, you can do that. Uppercut too, reverse. Okay, so once you get that down, we're gonna do what I call the flower. Okay, so just like if you've done broadsword before, or even straight sword, the flower is kind of similar. So you're gonna strike down on your right side. So this is in front, this is behind, okay? Where my chest is, I call it in front. Behind my back, I call it back. So we're gonna bring the nunchucks in front, strike down, and when you strike down, you're gonna strike down again, okay? Once you go down, and the nunchuck is down, your wrist is down, you wanna pivot to your left, okay? And from here, you're gonna strike back. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2. So it's kind of like the figure eight, except there's 2 circles in the back. So it goes 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. When you start with your arms, for beginners, I usually tell my students to keep your hands on their wrist, on their waist. That way, you don't develop bad habits like this. Okay? You want to keep it here. So I go here. So we go back and forth. I would start slow first before you hit yourself. So go here. First, you'll probably end up like this. Okay? And then when you get better, that's why we do the 100 rule, which is do this 100 times. You go back and forth. Okay? It's going to get a good wrist exercise for this drill. So after you do that, those are like some of the flowers kind of a little bit harder, okay? So for striking purposes, okay, so we come from here, do it both open, and we're gonna put the end in front, like you're gonna hit yourself in the chin, kind of. Don't hit yourself. You're gonna bring it up in front of your face and then pull back, okay? Then from here, striking, we're gonna strike slashing down, okay? So we're gonna strike down, and then back up, down, back up, down, back up, catch, okay? And then from there, we're gonna go down, left. So we're gonna go from your left to your right, okay? So go down, up, strike, down, back, okay? For this drill, I like to start with your thumb. You can use your thumb. I use my thumb sometimes when I do different tricks, but for this one, you don't have to. You can, but I find it a little bit easier. But if you go, you want to practice going around your waist, okay? So the nunchuck is gonna travel from the left to your right. You're gonna kind of like point to your waist and then turn it. You don't want it far out, because then you're gonna whack yourself, okay? You don't want this either. This is, most people do this on accident, so you wanna keep it little wrap, very circle. I usually do this 100 times too. Everything 100 times. Alright, so we go back, forth, flip, back, forth, flip, back, forth, flip, back, forth, flip, back, forth, flip. Okay? So once you get that down, we'll move on to another one, okay? So we go back, down, catch, whoops. So we're gonna try it again, back, catch, and then from here you're gonna let go, uppercut up, straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up, okay? Get that down, we'll do that around like 100 also, back and forth, okay? So remember, with nunchucks, you're gonna make mistakes, but the key to mastering these weapons, or any weapons, is to relax. Don't get frustrated, always have an open mind when you're training martial arts, and you'll get there, okay? So back and forth. As you can see earlier, even I make mistakes, so it's all good, all right? So once you get that down, we're gonna go left, right, up, boom, boom, okay? We'll do another, kind of like a trick on this one. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go this way. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this way and then the other way. So I'm gonna strike down, open my hand and catch. Open my hand and catch, okay? For this method, you want your hands kind of out. That way it doesn't get in the way, okay? So we're gonna strike to your left, open your hand, let the nunchucks go around. So when you open, you wanna open wide as you can. You want to curve the finger up a little bit, okay? So that way then the chain will not fall out. If you put your finger straight, it might slide out. But if you curve it, it's gonna stop right there and you can catch it, okay? So we do it kind of here. So we're gonna go open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, okay? Same thing, we'll do this about 100 times. And when you get faster, you use like your weight, momentum. Okay, so we go from here, back, back, left, catch, back, up. Okay? We're not going to go too far into this, so, but if you get better, I'm just going to show you some more tricks, okay? I might do a part 2 instruction video on this, okay? So from here, you're going to go around. I call it around the world, because we're going to go all the way around. So we're going to go from here, circle, catch. This time you're gonna catch behind, okay? You want your left hand pointing towards the back, okay? Towards you. And then curving up. You don't wanna catch it like this, then you won't hit it. So you want it underneath, okay? So we go from here, around, catch, and then flip. And then do the other side, catch. Same thing, underneath, and then up, okay? So we do this. This one's a little tricky. Okay? Alright, and then we'll end with one last strike. This is a striking forward. So you're going to strike and then retreat back. Okay? Strike, retreat, strike, retreat. For this motion, it's like a slingshot. What you're going to do is flip your wrist and strike the guy. So strike and then you're going to retreat. So this is going to strike and then it's going to circle down here to your right and then circle back in. So it's kind of like a strike and then like a figure 8, but starting on your right. So it's going to be from here, strike, back, 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 back. Okay? All right, sounds good. So this is just a quick introduction. So if you're new to nunchucks and you never really trained with it before, but always intrigued by some of the moves, this is a good weapon for you to do. So if you have any comments, questions, comments below. Remember, this purpose of this video is I'm not trying to get famous off these videos. This is more for my students that are here in Amherst and are looking to learn it at home. Sometimes we don't have time to, you know, train these a lot during classes. So if you want to train at home, I hope this helps you. Okay.